John McEuen, welcome. It's good to have you back.
Thank you.
Hanging out in eTown.
Yeah, like I said to my mom, thanks for having me.
Let me ask you about your latest record, Made in Brooklyn. I know you lived in New York City for a little while. What brought that about, making a record there in Brooklyn?
Well, the Chesky Record Company makes what's known as high-def records, high definition, and they do it in a special way. They use a church, it hasn't been churching for years, but it's been recording, and they use one microphone that everybody gathers around, and you have to run the song through once, and you move back, and you move in, and when you're ready to go, you record. Wow. And that's it. No overdubs, no fixes, can't wear headphones. And the thing is, if you can't hear the guy taking the solo, then you're playing too loud. And this one microphone captures it all in a way that when you play it back, it sounds like you're in the band.
Oh, that's cool. But it's sort of, is it kind of stereo because they have room mics? Or
it's stereo.
Yeah.
It's more than stereo. In a regular stereo, you have right and left speakers, but when you play this back, it sounds like somebody's over there, even on regular speakers.
Oh, wow.
In headphones, it's surround sound.
Wow, amazing. And how did you choose the players to be on this record?
I've been on the road now about 50 years. Yeah. You know.
By cracky.
I was trying to find some friends that I haven't used yet. And David Bromberg I met in '70 when the Dirt Band was going to put out Mr. Bojangles. He was playing with Jerry Jeff, and I wanted to go see Jerry Jeff so we could all tell him, we're putting out your record. Well, Jerry Jeff, I wanted to hear him sing it, but he was laying on the floor of the dressing room and face down, what he called a wild turkey night. So David, the turkey won, by the way, and David played it for us, and it was, although I loved the Dirt Band song and the recording, David's version, anyway, he became a friend then, and we wanted to make a record together. We've recorded on each other's projects like one song, but a whole album was needed. That was one. Matt Carsonis has been with me for 25 years. We've been playing together, and Jay Unger, you know the fiddle player.
I know, sure. No, I grew up listening to Jay, yeah.
Anybody out there familiar with the Ashokan Farewell, the theme for the Civil War documentary? Well, Jay wrote it. He played the fiddle. He's got a whole thing going up in New York, kind of like what Nick does here. And we've been wanting to play together since we met. Andy Gessling, Railroad Earth. Anybody out there heard the band? They're playing tonight. Anyway, Railroad Earth, Andy Gessling had been emailing me saying, hey, can I come sit in? I was playing in a place in New York.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what do you play? He sent me this list. And I said, well, don't bring the zither. He plays everything, and he plays it with mastery.
And you're now living in Florida, right?
I live in Sarasota area.
Sarasota, Florida. And so, but it's cool. There is a whole sort of, energy to being in Brooklyn and being around those musicians, and that's so cool, recording around one microphone. And now, of course, you have to mix this in with all the other projects. Is the Dirt Band still active, still doing stuff? And are you still?
So silence can get a great response. Yeah, we did 75 cities last year, and I did 45 on my own. I work a lot on my own away from the group. Yeah, in fact, we just put out a 50-year album called Circling Back, and the TV show that we did at the Ryman just found out last night that it won an Emmy.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that was a star-studded affair. You had all kinds of guests sit in with the band at the Ryman, and it was a PBS special thing. Right?
It's so weird to have that going on and doing the Made in Brooklyn album at the same time.
Yeah. Well, it's great. It's did you actually hang on to the magic tricks that you learned when you were a kid working at Disneyland?
They come in handy.
Did you get good at it?
It was really fun working in the Disneyland Magic Shop because I met Steve Martin in Tomorrowland. We were having a tuna sandwich and Chicken of the Sea, the little boat there. Anyway, and we were both trying to get jobs at the Magic Shop, and we did. And we felt like it was the best 3 years of our lives. It's one thing. And we both started playing banjo at the same time. Steve says that I taught him how to play or introduced him to the banjo, but he took off. He has his own style, and he developed it, started back then. And yeah, doing tricks all day long was fun. Yeah. Every 20 minutes, a crowd would turn over.
Did you? So was that what gave you the bug about performing, about being in front of an audience, just doing magic tricks at Disneyland?
I didn't know that then,
Yeah.
but yes, that was it. Part of it. It gave you the ability to do things like, you ever seen me before? You haven't? You ever talked to me before? How do you know it's me? You know, you
I don't know if that's magic. I think that might just be annoying.
You try.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, you try it.
You're heckling. You're heckling the audience.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to talk about a couple more things. Looking back, of course, you would have had no way of anticipating the impact of the Circle B Unbroken record. That was just a monumental. It was a milestone.
It was a dream to me. Since I started playing the banjo in Orange County, I told the dog I wanted to record someday with Earl Scruggs, and I wanted to play Soldier's Joy Frailing with him picking. And I had no chance of that happening, but because Jeff and Jimmy Ibbotson sang so good on the Uncle Charlie album, and we had mandolins, guitars, and banjos and stuff, Earl had heard the music, as well as Doc's son, Merle. And when Earl was playing here at Talagi's in Boulder, I went and asked him, would you record with the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band? He said, I'd be proud to. Wow. A week later, Doc Watson was playing the same club, and it was more like, Doc, we're making an album with Earl Scruggs. We weren't yet. It was just coming together. Yeah. But then my brother got Merle Travis, and then Earl got us Maybell, and Louise got us Jimmy Martin, and Earl got us a fiddle player that could handle it all. What's his name, Earl? Vassar Clemens. Yeah. And I said, can he do it all? And Earl said, he'll do.
Well, that was an amazing story, and I didn't know the connection to the little club here in Boulder. Another thing that's in the news these days is Russia. And
it's like a whole other country over there.
Yeah, it's like a whole other country. It's like a whole other part of the country. That's what Bill Monroe would say when he's saying, well, it's like a whole other part of the country. But you and the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band were the first American band to go play in the Soviet Union back in 1977.
Yeah.
That must have been an amazing trip.
It was amazing. 28 sold-out shows in 5 different cities. And it was like being in the Beatles, only nobody had ever heard of us. No, but see, the thing is, the reaction, they wanted to see an American group. It was illegal to have the music. It was illegal to stand up in a concert. It was illegal to possess foreign currency, 3-year jail sentence if they had a dollar bill on them. Wow. So I'd go, hey, comrade, you want the dollar? And we found out that only 3%, the Communist Party was only 3% of the population, and they ran the whole country. Isn't that weird? But here we got it figured out better, it's only 1%.
I got to think about that. That is kind of like magic, isn't it? Well, you've gotten a chance to play music with some of the greatest musicians in the world, and of course, huge celebrities, Dolly Parton, Johnny Cash, Little Richard, Willie Nelson, the Smothers Brothers, The Doors, even Fish, even Bill Cosby. Not often associated. Fish and Bill Cosby don't have any other things in common, I don't think, other than you.
We did 12 shows with Cosby. I wanted to meet him, but his dressing room was locked. And
that's a good line, actually. It's a good line.
You do edit, right?
Yeah. Well, listen, I can't tell whether the banjo has helped you because you're a funny guy. You could have just done television since 1960s, right? But which you did a lot. You were a lot on television, which was great.
We did about 300 TV shows over the years. I've done, when Nashville Now was happening in Nashville, I did that 42 times solo. Right. Yeah. And other things. Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah. It's really fun to do TV. Yeah. Except sometimes.
I remember when...
I mean, one time I was opening for Foreigner in Pocatello, Idaho. because the opening act had canceled, April Wine, and the promoter called me and said, "I'll pay you to come up and open." "Who's it for?" He said, "I'm not going to tell you." And I went out there doing this kind of thing in front of the 9,000 people that hated me. In fact, the only thing I could see is a guy at the front of the stage with a spotlight on me and him holding his hand up. Like. and later that night, it was such a weird night. I get home, I get to the hotel, and I'm the only one there, and I'm watching TV, and on comes a show at 1. Well, first of all, my son calls me at 1 o'clock and says, "Hey, Dad, paint your wagons on again. Here comes your close-up." Wow, there it is. Is this ever weird for you? We did Paint Your Wagon in '68. And then 15 minutes later, some strange TV show I did in California and there I am playing this banjo. And the worst part about it was done like 5 years earlier. And I had the same clothes on. I turned it off.
You could have gone shopping. Well, it's an amazing ride, and I hope you're writing all the stuff down or capturing all these stories because you got a gazillion of them. But really, John, it's just been an amazing journey. Congratulations on both a long career and a new record, and you're still at it.
It's really fun. I've got a radio show on XM called The Acoustic Traveler, and it's been on 8 years, and a website if anybody's interested. Go to syndicatednews.net. Syndicatednews.net is a news entertainment website that my partner is a genius and puts. You got to go look at it. It's got all kinds of cool things on it.
Syndicatednews.net?
Yes, sir.
Is it real news or fake news?
Well, what it is, if there's a trial going on, she's able to get all the documents for a trial, so you can make up your own mind. And I don't want to go into specifics but whatever is going on. You see the 2 sentences that NBC tells you, and Ruthie gets the old 20 pages beyond that. And it's not an opinion. You make the opinion.
Yeah, that's cool. Syndicatednews.net. And are people checking it out? Are you getting some traffic?
We get about 6 million hits a month right now. Yeah, it's coming along.
Wow.
Last year was only six hits a month. No, it's been building for the last 5 years.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, John. That's great. That's again another sort of weird arrow in your quiver. You've got a whole variety of them, and I
played the banjo. I got to do something.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, we're going to get back to that.
Watch this. Just pretend you're a banjo player, and you want to buy a house, and you go into the bank on Monday and say, "I want to buy a house, and I played the banjo." That's what you'll hear.
Just let me know when you're done. We've known each other a long time, probably since the.
We've known each other probably 35 years,
yeah.
and been really good friends for the first 2.
I can't remember what happened, but yeah, it was a long time ago. Anyway, glad you're here. Welcome back. Let's get back to music. Welcome back, John McEuen. Hi, this is Nick Forster from eTown. If you want to stay up to date with all the performances, interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage, click the subscribe button. Thanks.